Hi everyone, I'm Vicki from Ann Arbor Vegan Kitchen. Welcome. Today we're going to be making Tempeh Bean Burgers, and it's a really easy recipe that's really super delicious. Many veggie burgers don't hold together, and this one does. With a combination of tempeh, beans, and a few other ingredients, as you'll see, they not only hold together beautifully, but they're also delicious, and it makes a lot of them. We have 12 burgers by the time we're done with this recipe, which allows us to have some today and maybe tomorrow, also plenty to freeze. So let's get started, and I'll show you how easy this is. We're going to start with 1 block of tempeh. So I'm just using this block of tempeh that's from Trader Joe's. I'm going to just score the package and put these pieces into the food processor. Everything goes into the food processor in this recipe, so it's nice and easy. Now we're adding a 15-ounce can of kidney beans that have been drained, rinsed and drained. And this is going to help all bind together really well. And then we're adding an onion. So I've gotten a medium to large size sweet onion that I have quartered. And then we're adding 1 cup of rice. This is a combination of black rice and brown rice. So we're going to put this in here. And this will help it kind of give it a little additional texture, flavor. And then we're adding ground flaxseed meal, 1/3 of a cup. And now we will add a liquid. So we've got a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar, which really pairs nicely with the tempeh and the beans. And now we will season it. So I'm adding just, a nice generous sprinkle of salt, black pepper, and a little bit of Cajun seasoning, which is just salt, garlic, and chilies. Any of these seasonings that you want to adjust, you certainly can to customize to your own needs. So now we're going to give this a blend. And I'd say that's done. We really just want to pulse this together a little bit so that we still retain some texture. And although you wouldn't need to, I'm going to use some kitchen gloves for this part of the process because this can be a little bit messy. We're going to take an oven-safe griddle. We'll pull the blade out for safety here. We have this beautiful Tempeh Bean Burger batter. I'm going to just kind of eyeball this to cut the bowl in half visually so that I know I'm going to be preparing about 6 of these right now. And what I'm trying to do is make sure that each of these kind of larger than golf ball size, smaller than softball size balls of this bean burger batter are about the same. And what I'm going to start to do is just by hand make sure that they feel about the same. That makes sure that they will all cook in about the same amount of time. And that'll be the first step before we flatten them. And then once we have our 6 mounds, we're going to now just kind of flatten them and create a nice circular shape. I find that they cook nice and evenly when they're almost, flatter than you might expect. Because we want the inside to cook to kind of get nice and chewy and the outside to be kind of crispy. And what I'm trying to do as I flatten these and make them kind of round is also making sure the edges are fairly even so that they're not too thin or too thick anywhere along the way. And now we've got our 6 burgers, which means we have enough for a second batch. At this point, I could refrigerate this, which is what I'll do today, and bake these off another day. Or you could do round 2 and bake these and then freeze all of the extras. So here we are. We've got our 6 burgers on our griddle. And of course, if your griddle is smaller or larger, you'll adjust how many you bake at one time. Now I'm going to put them into a 425 oven. I have my oven preheated to 425 degrees. And we are going to bake these now for 25 minutes. So on the other side of 25 minutes, we'll come in and flip them and then give them 7 more minutes to cook. So a total of 32 minutes. I'll see you then. And here we are. They are so beautiful and they smell great. I have toasted half of an Ezekiel English muffin, which is a beautiful whole grain base. And I really like to serve these open face, but of course you can do exactly what you like with these. I'm going to actually put a little bit of mustard first. If you wanted to, you could put avocado or onion. We'll spread some mustard. And then I'm going to put some pickles on because I just love that combination of textures and flavors. And then we're just going to top it. And if you wanted to, you could put 2 burgers on top or just 1, depending on how hungry you are. I'm going to do 2 today because I just think it's kind of pretty and kind of stacked up. It's a real meal this way. And then we're going to top it just with some beautiful tomato slices and some lettuce. And there we are. Thank you again for being here with me today, and I'll see you next time.